Hey everybody, it's Rory from ANS Gear, and we've got the brand new HK Zero-GX pack in front of us. We're going to go ahead and look at this pack. We'll pull it all apart and kind of look through the insides of it. I do have one set up with a bunch of pods in it. We'll look at this one in a little bit after we get through just kind of going over this pack right here. First thing or major thing you'll notice about this pack is it has this extra elastic that goes around the outside of it right here. This does a couple different things, and we'll talk about that, but most notably, it's going to help keep pod bounce down, especially on the pods that aren't in the main loops. And then also, as you pull pods out, it's going to help collapse down the pack and keep it as tight to your body and as streamlined as possible, so you don't have big loops to get shot, things to just make you a bigger target, basically. So what we're going to do first is we're going to kind of just open this up a little bit and kind of get this here. And I'm going to remove this outside strap. You can take this and actually pull it right out. Just so we can look at the pod loops and everything. And then we'll put this back in and we'll look at the other pack and kind of get a better idea of that. Excuse me. So this is an 11 pod pack. It has 4 in the main, 3 in the extended loop holders, and then 2 on each end. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So with 11 pods, you can be 1,1700 balls easy and even go higher, because a lot of the pods now are running close to 200 balls. So 180 balls on some of the HK pods. So you can really get your ball count up on your pack. Now, when you're carrying a lot of paint like that, what tends to happen is your pack gets super heavy and it bounces as you run around. It bounces and it sticks out. So this is trying to eliminate that bounce and also trying to keep it, like we said, as streamlined as possible. So the loop parts are the same. These are just loops. They're not anything different or fancy. The Zero-G part, has no strapping to it. So the earlier Zero-G model had an ejector on the top right here. It had the elastics that went over the top and helped push the pod out as you were pulling it down. They got rid of that for the Zero-GX pack. Now, I don't know if they did that because, it really wasn't necessary, or if some people like to load pods on the edges facing with the tops up, and you can't do that if you have the ejector on the top of it. I don't know. Don't know why they took it off, but in this new version of the pack, it's not there. And I don't think they needed it to be on there. Given how you wanted the pod to fit in there and be nice and tight, and so it wouldn't slide out while you're running around, I don't think the ejector really helped, because you still had to pull to get it out. So maybe it helped, maybe it didn't. I don't know. But they got rid of it. So there you go. Obviously, they didn't need it. Strap-wise, you've got an outside strap, you've got an inside strap, and then you've got your bottom strap right there. So you've got 3 overall straps to make it as tight or as loose or as comfortable as you need it to be. So plenty of adjustment to fit it around your body right here. Let's go ahead and flip it over. You can see the inside here. So one of these straps right here has this kind of silicone embossing, or whatever you want to call it, printing on the inside here. And then the main lumbar support does as well. This is going to be the one that goes around first and goes against your stomach or your waist to help, keep it from sliding around. That's why they put this sticky, tacky substance on there to keep it from moving around. And then again, they have it on the back as well. Now, these pieces of padding are completely removable. On the other pack, it could fold up, but it was stitched on still and you couldn't take it off. But now you can take these out completely. So if you don't like the padding on there, you can get rid of it. Maybe you just want padding in the middle. Perfect. You can run padding in the middle. Maybe you just want it on the side. Maybe you want to make your own padding and Velcro it on there. You can do that too. So these can come off. They can come on. You can flip them around. You can put them this way, that way. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. That was a weird noise. It sounded like one of the cameras shut off. But they're both running still. That sounded just like a camera shutting off, but it didn't. So that's good. Let's talk about the loops themselves. So let's take this one and we'll move this one out of the way so that we can get this strap out. All right, so if we move this strap out of the way, that exposes the Zero-G pod itself. So when you have a new pod, I'm going to take this one. This is a brand new pack right here. And I'm going to try to put this in here. And this is, again, a standard size pod. It's not a giant pod or anything. But that's a little tight to get inside of this pack slot right here. So again, we were in the second one over. I'm going to come into this one right here, and I'm going to undo this Velcro. And before I do, I kind of want to give it an eyeball here and see where it is along the Velcro stitching or the Velcro section. Because if it's too tight, I want to make it just a little bit wider. So I'm going to kind of look at this. I'm like, okay, I was right along the edge of that. So I'm going to take this off. And I don't want to make it too loose because I could kind of get it in there. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more space. I'm going to come on to like right here now. And then I'm going to come down the whole thing, stick it back on there. And make sure it's nice and tight. And I'm going to pull that out, and then I'm going to come around, and then I'm going to see how well this comes in now. Now that went in easier, and I can slide it through. But the true test of whether this is going to work or not is to fill it up with paint and then go bounce around in it. So jump up and down, run back and forth in your room, go outside in the backyard, run around, up and down the street, whatever it needs to be. That's only going to be the way that you really know that this is holding as tight as it needs to be. You can kind of eyeball it and get an idea, but you'll never truly know. And you want to load paint through the whole thing. Put extra ones on this side over here, because just one is going to feel different than 5 on here. So put it on there and go from that. So this is just, like I said, a basic pod size. Coughing. Let's go with some bigger ones. Here's the HK Flip. I think we have, let's see here. No, there we go. Let's get that one. We got a lock lid. The giant, I believe this is the Pinocchio one. So let's put these ones in here too. Again, we were in the second one over. And for this one, that one goes through pretty well on that one. I like the way that feels. I'd probably leave that alone. Tie lock lid. Oh yeah, that goes through nicely as well. Pinocchio. Ooh, that's a little tight right there. So I would probably widen this one out even more if I was going to run this pod in it. If you've got a bunch of different pods, then you're going to kind of run into an issue. I would definitely recommend in this kind of pack setup that you run the same pods through the whole pack. That way, you're not having to have certain ones that are bigger, certain ones that are smaller. And then you have to remember, well, I got to put this pod in this slot because it only fits a certain way. So get all the same pods. Makes it easier. And that's how that works. So you can adjust both of these two by taking this side off. And then you could do the same thing on this side. Slide this one over and then adjust these two underneath there. All right. Let's put this back through. And there we go for the inside. So now what we're going to do, we're going to just stick these back on here. And we're going to switch over to the other pack that's over here. So you guys can kind of see how that works. I'm going to put this back in real quick. You see that just loops right under. Loops right under. And then it's going to stick there and there. All right, let me switch. Get you out of the way and bring in the Big Daddy here. And you can see we've got all 11 pods in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And these ones are on the outside. And I've got the strap that goes around here. I've got it Velcroed over here, Velcroed over here. I can take this off. And then, you know, we've got basically nothing really holding that. I can slide that around on there. But to get this thing to function the way we want it to, I'm going to attach it down there. And then I'm going to pull on it just so we can see its function over there. There. And again, when this is on your body, you'll be able to strap this around further and really whip it around there. So what we want to happen as we pull out pods, we want this thing to help push these paintball slots down. So as we take that out, you can see that pops right down in there, and that keeps it nice and tight against there. We do our next one. Man. Whoop. Again, keeps it nice and tight. Almost looks like a tent now. We pull this middle one out, and it collapses down again. Keeps it tight. So as we pull these outside ones out, it's going to help push that down and keep it there. Obviously, when we pull out the main pod slots, it's not going to push those ones down. It's not going to compress them and get them out of the way because they're a nice rigid section right there. But the outside ones, definitely going to help. And what else it's going to help with is balance. When these are inside here, if I didn't have this on, let me pull this out here. I'm going to try to push one of these back through. Not the easiest task on a brand new pack. That's one thing I'll tell you too. On a brand new pack, when you're trying to slide pods into these outer ones, it'll fight you, man. Trust me. There we go. So you've got this on your back right here. These ones, these inside four, are going to be nice and tight against your body. But as you're running, these ones on the outside, they love to just boing, 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 boing. They like to move around just like that, running down the field. They're flapping around on the back. I know you've all seen it in all the videos. These things bounce. So having this strap to come around the top here and Velcro in to hold this in place, it basically makes it part of the complete unit here. It's not a separate thing wiggling around by itself, and it holds it in place. So it's going to be more comfortable to run in, and then it's going to be more streamlined once it comes out. So it's kind of solving that benefit from both sides right there, or that problem from both sides. So here it is, the brand new pack, the Zero-GX pack. It's an 11 pod pack, holds all sizes of pods. When they're brand new, you really got to try to push them in there. But the 4 on the inside that you can adjust, it's easy to do. It just takes a little bit of time. Definitely recommend using all the same pods so you're not trying to figure out what goes where. But check this pack out. This is the brand new HK Zero-GX pack. It's available on the website. Order yours today from ansgear.com.